In this video we will look at what is a regulator, why would you want to fit a regulator, and how does a regulator work. But first, from the dictionary: regulate, to control by rule, to subject to restrictions, to adapt to requirements, to alter the speed of a machine or clock so that it may work accurately. Firstly, what is a regulator? Regulator, translated in some other languages, comes out as the word controller or governor. For this video we're going to be looking at regulators used in air guns. However, we shall also talk about regulators in general used with other gases and fluids, as the principles of their working is exactly the same. So, a regulator is in general an extremely simple mechanical device consisting of a small number of parts. It works on a differential of force and pressure, and in your regulator you will find a fixed force, a large surface area, a small surface area, a soft component and a hard component, and we will talk about these in a little while. But for now, a regulator is a device that regulates to a constant pressure or setting the gas or liquid pressure on the output side. So on the input side the pressure may rise, fall or fluctuate, but on the output side the pressure will remain at a constant. With regards to your air rifle, the pressure will most likely start excessively high at around 200 bar, 3000 psi, and then depending on the setting of the regulator it will come out of the output side at the set pressure, which will normally be on average around 100 bar. And that is simply what a regulator is. It controls the flow of pressure on the output side of the device. Why would you want to fit a regulator into your PCP air rifle? Well, at the present moment in time, if you've got a non-regulated PCP air rifle, the air reservoir, tank or cylinder, whatever you'd like to call it, is filled up from the fill valve end, and normally this is to around 3000 psi or 206.84 bar. Now, every time you pull the trigger and the hammer fires forward and strikes the outlet valve, a small amount of air vents out up the transfer port and down the barrel. But with each shot that you fire, the pressure in the tank will drop. Now normally on your average PCP air rifle, the weight and strength of the outlet valve spring, the diameter of the outlet valve head, the weight of the hammer and how much it travels back and forth, and the force applied by the hammer spring has a self-regulating effect. So as the pressure in here drops, so it starts at say 3000, you fire a shot, bang, and the pressure drops down to 2998, bang, and it drops down again. This self-regulating effect means that you will get quite a good and fairly flat what we call power curve. So you'll have a usable string of shots which are roughly to the same power, but because the pressure in this chamber is normally dropping by around 50% over the useful range of shots, so it'll start at 3000 psi, 206.84 bar usually, and then your last usable shot is quite often around half of that, 1500 psi or 103.42 bar. So you've used half the pressure of the air in the tank and got quite a flat string of shots via the self-regulation of this hammer, spring and outlet valve mechanism. Now the regulator is installed simply into the rifle so as to create a controlled pocket of air which is always at a constant regulated pressure, and therefore this makes the job of the outlet valve assembly far easier, and in so doing each shot should be far more consistent. So if we take the red line as being the original non-regulated air rifle, and then the green line as being a regulated air rifle set at with the regulator set at 100 bar, you should get a far flatter FPS. Well, you say a flat curve, it should actually be a relatively straight flat line coming along, and this system with the regulator in is more efficient. You can set it up better so that it regulates the air in a more efficient way. So it will also give you, apart from a flat line, it will give you a few more shots. Now also with the addition of putting a regulator in the rifle, it is possible, if you do quite a bit of tuning of all the different mechanisms, the transfer port size, the tension on the different springs, maybe fitting an anti-bounce hammer, it is possible to set the regulator at the absolute lowest of around 60 bar to get 12 foot-pounds for the UK, and it's quite common for people to lower the pressure of the regulator down to around 70 bar, and so this has taken the working pressure of your air rifle from the lowest of around 1500 psi 100 bar down to around 1000 psi or 70 bar. So the number of shots that you can expect is far greater.